In this video, I'll be discussing the editing process in which we went through to create the trailer. The first thing we did was put in our production logo, as you can see above. We sped this up to fit the right timing of our video. Second thing we did was put in the last clip so we know where we wanted to end, and here we've just been editing what it looks like, and also adding in echoing sounds by putting in the audio twice. And as you saw in the previous picture, we were messing about with the size of the room, which we just did through going through audio and using one of the effects. The next thing we did was start putting in lots of clips and just messing about with timing and putting in our main soundtrack. We then went on to editing a certain part of the clip, which was just the vinyl part. As you can see here, we went back to the beginning and just altered the sizing of the production logo. Here I'm looking at timing of a clip and I'm just changing the timing of it. This is our second piece of audio, which we were just cutting to time and deciding which parts we wanted. This is the running clip and we were just putting this to time also. I then began looking at two different clips and seeing the lighting schemes between them and if the lighting's matched. I then put in the audio that I made myself, which I did by manipulating vinyl sounds. I warped the sound a bit and just worked on which levels were the best for it. Here we began to build up our clips and we were just looking at timing and we were cutting things to make sure that they fit perfectly. We also started putting in narration at this point, and we wanted to make sure that it was loud enough to be heard. So here I'm just putting up the audio levels so that they can be heard over the music. Here we began to go back to the beginning as we reshot some footage, and this is just a pan of the house. And I was making sure we started it from the right moment, and we also decided to slow this clip down. We went back to the echoing and I layered another piece of clip on top of this from the same video. This just created more of an echo. I also slowed down the clip a bit and cut it just so it was shorter but was more effective. Here I'm again editing the production logo, just making sure it's the right size. At this point we started doing some color correcting, and I wanted to make sure there was a consistent colour going all the way through. So we kept this dark tone, which I copied and pasted from each clip so that it was consistent with one another. Although some clips needed to be brightened a bit more because they were shot at night, for example this clip. Here I was just making the colours more grey and blue. Again, this is done for the majority of the next few pictures. Here I was just placing in audio and cutting it. Upon hearing feedback from my teacher, we decided to go back to the vinyl clip and cut it so that it was a little bit shorter. This is the last clip that we were just adding colour to here. We then decided that we wanted to add some sound effects, so this is us just searching sound effects and seeing if they fit the moments perfectly. This is us looking for glass sound effects. And we did actually find the perfect sound effect later on for that part. Yeah, we looked at quite a few. We wanted to make sure that they just fit really perfectly, so we kept replaying the clip and seeing which parts we liked the best. This is me just placing in the glass smashing sound effect. I messed about with the pitch a little bit, but then decided to keep it the same and just cut it by looking at the audio to see when the main sounds took place. We then wanted to add in an American audience screen, as we noticed in a lot of trailers this was prominent even if it was a British film, because it was made for wide audiences to see worldwide, so it had to apply for American audience also. So this was me just scaling it up to make sure there was no black on the sides. This is again just messing about with speed and duration. And here we have added in some effects, which you can probably see a little bit, and that's just adding in fade to blacks mostly, but then we also decided to keep some clips further apart. So it was not just a fade to black, it was a sudden black. And we noticed when looking at trailers that there was lots of fade to blacks, but then also just cut to blacks.